So this week we are going to learn more about events and event handling. So far we have handled events basically by putting the event handler into our HTML tag. And that is actually not the best way to handle events. So you are going to learn a couple additional techniques this week. So we have our web reading chapter 6 in the book. And then we have additional information on JavaScript events, DOM event listeners. And then we are going to be looking a bit at the browser object model. So some parts of that. Okay. And once you get done with the reading assignment, we have our key concept lecture demo where we have the HTML attribute, which is the way that we have been handling events. Then you'll learn about the DOM property method. And finally, you will learn how to use event listeners and event handlers, which is the preferred way of handling events. So you will learn all three. Okay, so I kind of go through what the old method is, and then I show you the new way of doing it. And as always, you guys will see there's little interactive goodies embedded into the lecture demo. So you can see how things work while you are reading through uh, the lecture demo. You'll also notice that there are videos embedded in here that will go through the code and explain to you exactly what that code is doing. Once you are done with the key concept lecture, you are going to come down and do the lab assignment. So for the lab assignment, we have converting HTML event attributes into DOM event handlers and listeners. So you're going to be downloading these files, and this file does work as it is, but it has the HTML event handlers. And you need to convert this so that it is using the DOM event handlers and event handlers and listeners. So you will be converting this over. These are the fonts that you need to download. You probably noticed when it was cold. I'll show you that again. That we have this kind of cool, cold looking font, and that is the chiller font. So you definitely want to download those. And then can we kind of walk through how to make those changes in the code? And this video shows you how to change a similar website, but not the wind chill. But this will show you in a very similar page how to make those same changes. And it goes through not only task 2, but task 3. Because once you finish task 2, you're going to move on to task 3, which is converting the wind chill function to an anonymous function. Okay, so these are the directions for that. And the video will actually give you a pretty good idea of what you need to do in this wind chill factor page. Task 4 is going to involve creating a little animation. I have a video that kind of shows you the code that was used to create Zeppo's world, which is linked right here. And you are going to be doing something similar. So here is Zeppo. And here we're moving him down, and you can see it's displaying coordinates. And he does stop before he gets to the end. How to move him to the right, how to move him to the left. how to stop Zeppo, how to make him dance or have a seizure, whichever one, how to stop. Okay, and so you're going to be doing something very similar to this. Okay, so these are the directions, and I've got the example for you to look at, and then the video actually walks through that code and explains exactly what it's doing. Working with browser object model events and properties. So we've looked at the DOM, the document object model, and now we're looking at the browser object model. And so you're going to create a new web document. You're going to apply, styling to your page so it looks nice, should be in a separate CSS file. And then in your page, you need to include these requirements. Now, how you include them is totally up to you, but you need to use 2 window object methods, 1 location object method. You need to display window information using window object properties, navigator information using the navigator object properties, location information, history information, and screen information. You should use DOM property event handling or event listeners and handlers. Okay, so for these, if you are going to have, click a button and display the information, you need to use the DOM event handling or event handlers and listeners. Okay. And there are lots and lots of examples in the lecture. And I did include some of those examples here, but this is not all of the examples. Okay, but your page has to incorporate all of this in it. Okay, so that is the assignment. And once you have it transferred, you are going to add done to the Dropbox, and then you are going to complete the discussion. And this discussion exercise is addressing a couple of our learning outcomes. The learning outcome it is addressing is explain how well-designed sites impact website appeal. Okay, and so you have to research how well-designed interactive sites increase appeal based on what you read. Write a post that describes what well-designed means, what interactive features increase site appeal, and what features decrease site appeal. And then I want you to think about what types of design are appropriate for the different types of content that are on the web, and select a type of website and describe what designs you prefer and why. So the types of sites could be blogs or online stores or information pages, portfolio pages, corporate websites, art sites. Okay, you pick a site that you like. Okay, and then you describe why you like that site. Okay, so once you get done with your post, you are going to reply to 2 of your classmates. And so I did an example post so you can kind of see what I'm looking for. And I also found a site that is, I think, quite good and kind of exemplifies, what a artist site should look like. Okay, so you will do something similar with, whatever type of site that you are going to focus on. So that is the discussion. If you have any questions this week, or if you run into problems, please let me know. You will notice that I do have some additional resources here on events and event listeners. I've got the PowerPoint from the publisher, and also a link to the on-campus tutoring. So hopefully you'll have fun with this, and let me know if you run into any problems.